about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Excellentialist. Am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know.
That was great sounds. Watch with Outside on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. My name is Preston, and I am with Long Island Rays, Elm City made Mr. EZ BlueZ. And then we got, you know what time it is. We got the one and only, the OG Blurred, the supervillain to many, the superhero to those who matter. His name is a professor, and you know what it is. Three grown men talking about topics in pop culture that we love so much. This is called Three Nerds Venting, the most structured, unstructured show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm currently thinking on how to remix the Wayne's Brother theme song to fit three nerds. You know, the three nerds, and the venting, and the, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a high five.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's not,
I know. I just wanted to be silly.
Speaking of silly, let's talk about the season of What If season 3. What were the good things? I know all of us can talk about the bad things. We can talk about let's talk about the good things, talk about the positivity. Let's be a little optimistic before we go to the negativity, because there's a lot of negativity in this latest season. And I think, should I start with this?
Yeah,
maybe you guys need to think about the whole positive aspect
why don't
of
you
this.
Start with it, because you know, my biggest issue period with it is just the fact that it's over now.
Yeah,
So,
same.
So
why don't you going?
Yeah, why don't you start with it and see where it goes? Because I got to think positive now. Man, come on, man.
Positive, then we go to negative, and then we just see where it leads for after that.
See where it leads. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I do agree with you. I am not cool with the whole, the last go around. I think there's more avenue for redemption because they can go so much with this. Couple of positivity that I liked about it. I like the whole Winter Soldier and what's his name? Red Guardian. Yeah. I like that whole relationship. I thought that was pretty cool. I love Storm with Thor's hammer. I thought that was really great. They should have went more into that avenue or have an episode of how she got the hammer, which I thought would have been pretty cool. I need Jeopardy music. I need Jeopardy.
The whole thing, and I mean,
Jeopardy.
If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, at the end of the day,
I got a little more positivity in this one.
Okay.
I have a little more positivity in this one. I did like the Watcher fight. I thought that was cool. I thought that was awesome. I did like his origin stuff. I thought that was awesome. I thought that could have been an episode with just solely him, which I thought would have been really cool. Get all the side characters out of it, get Captain Carter out of it, get all that stuff out of it too. I thought with just the Watchers alone, him fighting, battling, and to know how he got the spot, I thought that was really awesome. I really liked that part of it. That part was cool to me. Now we can talk about the bag. Go ahead, Easy Bruce.
Okay, cool. It's like, let's talk about the 530 million pound duck in the room, and the fact that the entire season and series pivoted on Howard the Duck, and
that was bad.
Caitlin Denning's child.
That was bad.
Like I don't care about Birdie. Bye Bye Birdie was a bad musical. I don't like any of it. I don't appreciate. I know. I probably just hurt like so many different fans. They're probably like, "Oh, how can you take?" That's how bad that episode was. Mm-hmm. Was it made you hate anything that was Birdie influenced? Mm-hmm. Bird's Eye chicken. Yeah. I don't want to eat that anymore. That's how much I absolutely loathe the Howard the Duck episode, and I love Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah. That can easily go into their next Deadpool if they really put their mind into it. That could easily do that. But I wasn't a fan of Howard the Duck either. That I thought that killed my spirit. I felt they had so much opportunity to do other stuff than that. He's better as just that side character. He doesn't need a main episode. He didn't need it. He didn't.
And I'm also not saying that I don't appreciate the relationship of whatever her name is in the comics, Kathleen Dennings and Howard the Duck, because I think the interspecies relationship go nuts. I mean, if it's if it's real, it's real. If it's love, it's love.
Right.
So I don't care about that. I just care that you made it that now this being is the end all be all, and really the end all be all comes from Howard the Duck. That's like saying good comes from orange. It just doesn't happen.
So
go ahead, Professor.
So I was thinking about it, and thinking about the length of the publication itself, the What If comic.
Right.
It's 1977 to 1998. That's a pretty decent run.
It is.
Right?
It really is.
So that
awesome.
that right there made me think you can't just do 3 seasons and call it quits. You have to do more, especially when there are opportunities to expand with new characters and stuff that might pop up. Again, the Kat Denning character, that her character playing and her falling in love with Howard the Duck and everything. So there was another characher. Easy, you remember the movie, the Howard Duck movie?
Yeah. I was fine
So,
when was that the girl from New Adventures in Babysitting?
Yeah. So her character is from the comic book,
right?
So I kind of wish that they had gone in that direction,
right,
using that character, because it would have made more sense instead of that ditzy Kat Denning character, popping up as the. But for whatever reason, and I'm assuming because Thor 5 is coming and they might give her a cameo, they're trying to keep that character relevant.
Right.
But she's not, and she's never been to me really a relevant character. She was.
Right.
She was funny that one time. It was like Thor 2 when she was calling Mjolnir Mew Mew. That was comical.
Yeah, that was but she was great in Two Broke Girls.
Right. She was brilliant in that. That was hilarious.
And I will say I think personally the reason why they put her in that role is because she's got a new show with Tim Allen that's coming out around the same time.
Right. That makes sense.
It's an easy way to double promote. It's a show that's going to be released on ABC, so Disney has some sort of hand in it. Yes. I'm telling you that the puppet masters are pulling the strings.
Yeah. I get that. And so and for the season itself, I do appreciate what they're trying to do. Them throwing in Kate Bishop and Shang-Chi, because we hadn't heard from Shang-Chi since his movie. So I get including him, right? Makes sense, because at some point they're going to have to bring him back. They're going to have to, right? I get it. So I appreciated what they did. Another interesting thing was, as you've spoken about the battle between the Watchers at the end.
Yeah, I liked it for what it was.
I liked it. However,
I liked it for what it was. I thought it could have been better.
It could have been better.
Yeah.
Only for me, because I don't think that would have ever happened in the comic book.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because they were solely meant to watch. They were solely meant to watch. Yeah.
Even the times that Uatu stepped out and alerted Reed Richards, alerted Nick Fury, alerted Captain America. The brief times that he's ever stepped out, it was purposeful, and no other Watcher checked him or challenged him. They have this code and they're only supposed to watch. I get that, but
it was for a reason.
It was for a reason. So they never, for him to step out and do what he did was for the benefit or saving the multiverse.
Agreed.
So if anybody should have checked him, I believe that the Living Tribunal should have checked him.
That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome.
I would have loved to
I completely agree with
that
you.
happen.
And we would have got to see the Living Tribune. We would have got to see an animated version, but what was more to come. That would have been a nice tease. I would have loved that.
I would have loved that.
Of course.
So, but hold on a second, because let's talk from a marketing point of view.
Yes.
Okay. Do you the first thing in the Marvel universe of the Living Tribunal, do you waste it on a Disney Plus show that people
No,
are pretty much
no,
getting for? No,
no.
you put it in the movie.
This is what happened. They mentioned the Living Tribunal in Doctor Strange, the first movie.
Yes,
then they followed it up with because they did like he was rocking the staff of the Living Tribunal, right?
Yeah.
Then they showed a piece of the Living Tribunal in the third Doctor Strange when he was they were going through different worlds and stuff.
They showed a little snippet of him.
Then they had the statue of the Living Tribunal in Loki. And then so they've been dropping the Living Tribunal here and there. Plus, we got an opportunity in Thor, Love and Thunder, that train wreck. You got an opportunity to see that, but you saw Eternity, another but
yeah.
So they're leading up. So any bits and pieces that you get, even if it's just like a brief, the Living Tribunal, even in What If,
right?
The big show is him appearing later on in something really, really cosmic, like say the Fantastic Four when Galactus starts doing his thing.
That's how
it
you do
is
it.
not uncommon if Galactus and some other celestial parties or somebody cosmic steps up and does something for the Living Tribunal to say, all right, I think that's enough. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I kind of see where I think it was just a wasted opportunity. And again, the Watchers are cool. The Watchers are cool. They've been playing them since the beginning. I get it. But this opportunity was, in my opinion, just wasted because that would have been a great opportunity because if we're going to go big, and now we're talking about the Fantastic Four coming, and
of course,
right? Let's now introduce, because Guardians of the Galaxy was cool, but aside from like Thanos, aside from Eternity, that fake Eternity in Love and Thunder, I'm never gonna not like that. I hate it. Anyway, so aside from that, them really introducing super cosmic beings, you got the Beyonder, I think, is coming.
Right. Yeah, but
right. So
he should have been teased. They should have been teased him, man.
I agree.
They should have been teased Beyonder, bro.
They're saving him. Mark my words. They're saving him for Doomsday and Secret Wars.
They are. They are. Which is
saving him.
Which is a great time to have him. Trust me, it is. But I would have liked some Easter eggs, something, that he's coming. There's been a lot of Doctor Doom Easter eggs that we've seen in the MCU.
Yeah.
But I think Beyonder could have got a little bit of something.
And I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late. I think it has to be
this year. It has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be this year.
That's the thing.
With the next
has
two films,
to be this year.
26 and 27. It has to be this year.
Yes, it has to be this year. Because if they're leading up to Secret Wars, you have a couple of things. You have the Molecule Man, Owen Reese. I heard they already casted him. All right.
Yeah. I hear it's Batman. That's a big rumor.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I hear it's Batman.
Yep. I heard it's him. Yep. So we got that. You got the Molecule Man, Owen Reese. You have a force that is going to be afraid of him. That's where we get the Beyonder.
Yeah.
And they're not ready. No, the world is not ready for the Beyonders, but they're ready for the Beyonder. They're ready for him. And again, I see that playing out. Somehow he's gonna, because in the comic book, he steals the Beyonder's power and Doom, and he ends up doing his thing that way.
Yeah.
And but I'm telling you, this is a good opportunity to also tease. So you remember at the end of Shang-Chi when Banner and they were talking to him and and all that
at the end,
right at the
former
end.
New Avengers,
and they were talking about that beacon that it was calling something. Forget about the Kree. Forget about that. That could be calling the Beyonder.
That's true. Right. That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So because the people, the dragon Fin Fang Foom, that's the one who is funny to say that name, but he's the character, one of the characters, his race of like the space dragons. He was the one that had the actual rings, so that's why they were so big. They're actually actual rings that he wears, but the Mandarin in the comic book was they shrunk. It was able to shrink them down by force of will, just because they can adapt, and boom, right. This is a great opportunity now, Marvel. I'm talking to you. This is a great opportunity now.
Go ahead and vet. I love it.
To start introducing these cosmic characters, these bigger than life characters, because here we go. We're also going to be seeing heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So now give Thor his real power set. You now have the Red Hulk. Give the Hulk his power set the way he's supposed to have it. You got Hercules coming. Hercules is a powerhouse. You're introducing the Sentry. The Sentry with the power of a hundred suns or 1,000 suns, something ridiculous. But you have heavy hitters coming. You have the Thing coming. You have all these heavy hitters. Now you can introduce some of these cosmic threats. You have the Surfer coming. The real Surfer is going to be on the way. You have enough for cosmic. You have enough heavy hitters to now change the landscape. And don't forget about the Blue Marvel. Don't forget about it.
I was waiting for you to mention the Blue Marvel.
I'm with everything you're saying. But I was going to piggyback off you just a little bit. I know Easy said the thing about Living Tribugal, how you don't want to do it on a Disney Plus show. Mind you, Kang got introduced to a Disney Plus show before all the allegations and stuff, and that was done completely well, exceptionally well. Yeah. So you can do it if it's right, and I wouldn't mind seeing something like a little tease on free TV so I can pay for it in the theater so I can know what I'm gonna get, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
It is so interesting that I actually took a look at our schedule, and I know what are later on topics we're going to talk about. So I'll actually save my comment for the later on topic, because I kind of see something from a different point of view and perspective.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We will cross that bridge. We will definitely cross that bridge. But as far as like cosmic beings coming out, I just felt this latest run of the MCU has just been so unstructured when it comes to their, guaranteed multiverse line, because they've been going different. They've been introducing too much when they really didn't need to introduce too much. They really didn't, And like I said, I'm with you with the whole lineup. The whole lineup is impressive. I'm just saying, but in their eyes and in their way, it's going to be introduced a wrong way. I really think so. I really think so. Because so much is being crammed into these 3 years. I wouldn't mind if they extend the time, maybe like a 28, 29. You don't have to give us too much. You don't have to give us too much. Just spread it out just a little bit. You're cramming so much for us.
I think if they didn't,
you really are.
No. I think if they didn't panic and rip out the whole Kang the Conqueror, just recap.
They could have still used them. They could have still used them because it's a variant. They could have still used it.
Exactly. So I think if they had have just gone with that plan, there was so much that they could have done. Yeah. They could have still introduced Secret Wars. They could have still introduced Doctor Doom because they're all tied into the same thing. And they all end in the same place. So they could have still went on the path and done like the multiversal war or something like that.
Oh yeah.
They could have they still, because again, if you're in game, see what I just did there? If you're in game,
well done.
If your end game is Secret Wars, right?
Right.
Doom is involved.
That's right.
He's the main thing. Even in the old comic book, the one that I read, the original one, he was the main. He was the main bad guy. But Kang was there. Owen Reese was there. You had a whole slew of, and you had X-Men characters, Avengers characters, and so the Fantastic Four characters. So you had this whole thing going where either way, even with the newer one, it all leads to Doom.
Right.
And Battle World and the multiverse. It all leads in the same direction. So if that was the case, I would have been happy. And it's still not late. Disney, I'm talking to you here. It's not late for, at the very end of it, for Kang to pop up and be the problem at the very end. Because if we're going to be honest, Kang is from the 31st century.
That's right.
And he's bounced back and forth through time doing all types of shenanigans. I am sure, and I have no problem believing this, and he's gone in different timelines too. I have no problem believing that at some point at the very end of this whole thing that Kang might be the big bad at the very end if they do it right.
Okay.
If you want to leave it as Doom and whatever, and do it like they did with Battle World and him doing his thing with and that's how Storm gets his hammer though. She's part of the Thor Corps, and she anyway, just answering that for you. But I would love to see that happen, but they did not have to take Kang out of the equation,
Right?
because like it just made no sense. And
No,
I don't care what people say. Quantumania was a good movie. If you understood what they were doing with that, if you understood why they did that,
Yeah.
that was their way of not only tying in the whole multiverse thing with time flowing differently in the multiverse, right? Through them going through the quantum realm or whatever, right? That was their way of introducing that. They couldn't introduce it the right way because they also have to now figure out how they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four. Now they can introduce the Fantastic Four the right way, because I don't know, nobody noticed. They also didn't mention anything about the negative zone, right?
Nope, nothing yet.
Right. So that's the thing.
Not a thing yet.
Got a nihilist can come through that. I would love to see the annihilation wave. Imagine that. The annihilation wave hitting.
I don't think it was a good movie. I thought Majors made it a good movie.
Well, it wasn't. Listen. If you, I understood why they did that movie and what the purpose was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again, I'm not saying that because I like Paul Rudd.
Right.
Is he my choice? Is he my choice for like the real Ant-Man as Scott Lang? He would have been later on, but I would have liked to have seen.
That's interesting. Who would have been your choice?
Hank Pym. It would have been the real Hank Pym thing. Because again,
it would have been Michael Douglas route. Okay.
No, not them. It wouldn't even been Michael Douglas. It would have been a totally different actor. It would have been a little
but
modern.
like the character. I mean, just the character, not the actor, but the character.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I would have loved to have seen something like that, because again, if you think about the original Avengers, this Avengers that we got from the movies, the MCU, that was based on the Ultimates Avengers, from the Ultimate imprint, right, of Marvel. And I dug it. But again, we know the original Avengers, Captain America was not even there yet. It was the Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Giant Man, and the Wasp. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
When the Hulk left, they found Captain America. Now Captain America's there. And so I kind of get what they were really aiming for this, but now we're talking about moving a little bit forward.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about moving a little bit forward. Now that we have what we have, there's a couple of things that I think that Disney is panicking over, right? This last whole thing didn't do as well as they wanted to. They got rid of the Scarlet Witch. They got rid of Iron Man.
I don't think
they
she's
got
dead.
rid of Captain America. I don't think she's dead either.
I mean,
realistically, in the comic book, she's been cloned. I don't know how many times. She's gonna come back. She's coming back. But we saw those major characters, right, go right, and things kind of went in their way, and that's fine. That's fine. You're gonna try to bring them back though at some point. Evans can still do it. I'm totally happy with him. I think he could still do it. I honestly like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but
they put you in a spot.
Yeah, man, because like, you know what? I don't mind him being Doom for the multiverse thing, and then because we're talking superior Iron Man, I remember that story. I get it, but he's not Dr. Doom. He's not.
I think it's going to be a swerve. I think it's going to be a swerve. I think he's going to be a variant, and
of course,
I think it's either. These are my top three choices that I've been saying like to mostly everybody who I wanted to be Doom at first. Mads Mikkelsen.
That's my number one choice.
That's my first one.
That's my number one choice.
My second one was Javier Bardem. I thought he'd been a cool Doom. Oh man, I got the concentrated faces here.
Javier
Bardem would have been Javier Bardem to me would have been a good Doom.
Interesting.
I don't see it. But okay.
And the third one was obviously the popular choice by many on the internet was Cillian Murphy. They're my top three for Doom.
Yes.
They're my top three for Doom.
Yes. I would go for Mads Mikkelsen, hands down though. Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It can definitely be redemption.
Think about him
from the
playing
last character.
opposite Pedro Pascal. See him playing. I could see them playing opposite each other so well. Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
Pedro wasn't my
That would be
first choice
amazing.
for Mr. Fantastic.
No,
I
not
thought-
mine either.
I
First
thought
of all,
the
he was
dude-
fine.
Yeah,
What's his name?
I forgot his name from The Office.
Yeah. From the he
John
was perfect.
Krasinski. I think that's his
Krasinski,
name.
yeah.
Krasinski.
He was perfect.
Yeah.
He was absolutely perfect.
I think
And,
it was his choice not to do it. From what I was reading, I don't know if it's confirmed. It was his choice because of the schedule that they gave to him, and it was like, I can't do it because like
you have to commit.
Yeah, you got to
commit.
He didn't want to commit.
And I think that if he had committed, that would have worked because we would have pulled Emily Blunt in as
Sue Storm.
Sue Storm.
That would have been great.
Dope. She would have been. Oh, she would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what the problem with that whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are older actors, right? Me squaring it, right? Me working that because if back in the day when the original comics, like when they first came out,
and back in the day, I should have said the tag WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Harry, don't fire me. Go ahead.
So back in the day, Sue Storm was a little ditzy, right?
Yeah.
When they got older and things were happening, and then they had Franklin, right? She started maturing a lot because she was just the airheaded younger sister, older sister of Johnny Storm and the girlfriend of whatever. This when they had Franklin, she matured a lot and she became a force to be reckoned with. And she's actually a brilliant woman, right? So you saw that maturity. That's the Emily Blunt character. This younger character, I can see playing her and being the younger, naive Sue Storm. And that works. So they would have to figure out how to place them in the MCU as an older couple. Where were they this whole time that things was happening? Because they should have intervened because of their, Reed's of, mental ability, the strength of the Hulk, Johnny Storm being an Omega force. Like, he is incredible. And then Sue Storm's power. She's ridiculously powerful. So where were they and why didn't they help? So this is where we have the negative zone. They could have been trapped in the negative zone and got brought boom, boom, boom. So there were ways that they could have like made sense of it. But I don't think that having Krasinski and Blunt as the head of the Fantastic Four in this moment, it just wouldn't feel right. Because all those questions of, well, where were they? Or why didn't they? Or when they were traveling through the quantum realm, why didn't they bump into the negative zone? And So I think this is a good call with Pascal and that new chick. I think they have a good look. It's a good look for me. And did you see the thing? How he looks?
Oh, the thing looks amazing.
Holy
the thing looks just like out the comics.
Yes,
just like out the
holy
comics.
moly.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Thoroughly impressed.
That's one of my top films I'm excited for is Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I like the fact that they're already established. We don't have to see. We'll see highlights of the mission. We're not going to see the full mission itself. I like the fact that
jumping to Galactus was a bad news. I think jumping to Galactus.
I don't think so.
No, because you had the Mole Man as their first villain. No, it wasn't Mole Man. He was the second one.
Mole Man's going to be in it though.
Yeah, it was Namor with that giant sea monster that wreaked havoc, and then the Mole Man popped up as like next episode or the next comic after that.
Rumor there was a rewrite because Namor was supposed to be in it, but then the actor got the allegations, so he could not commit to that film at the time. So we would have had
that. They need to variant him and get him out of there. That was trash. That was trash.
You didn't like Namor and Black Panther 2?
That was
really?
garbage.
I liked what they did with him.
Dumpster juice.
I liked what they did with him. I liked the whole
trash.
city. I thought that was beautiful.
Listen. Oh no!
I thought that was beautiful with the city and everything. Like he was originally going to be in the. Wow.
No, you know what that was?
You were serious.
You know what that was?
Oh my goodness!
And you know what, Ryan Coogler, I like you, sir. I like you. I like you, but let me talk to you for a moment, sir.
Okay, this is the venting part. Go ahead.
This Black Panther 3, you better get it right. You got the great Denzel Washington down with you, and y'all better recast. Y'all better do it, because here's a couple of things that's the problem. You dropped the ball on this whole Namor thing. All right, there is no.
I didn't think.
And I know why you did it. And I know why you did it.
Dropped the ball.
And you know what, sir? I like you, but I know why you did it.
Fantastic job with Namor.
Look,
I thought he did a fantastic job with Namor.
This is what happened.
Favorite parts of the movie.
Wait. I'm gonna tell him, and I'm gonna put it out here. I'm gonna put it out here for the people.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna put it out for the people.
Okay.
I know why you took that route. I'm not mad at you for taking that route, sir. but have a little more courage. Have a
Ooh.
little more courage because you were afraid of the spectacular display of Atlantis that James Wan did. I get it. I get it. You didn't want to have to do Atlantis after that. I get it. There's no fear. That's all right. I get it. But, sir, you dropped the ball. There is no way. There's no way, shape, or form that should have happened, sir. So,
Right.
for you, sir, I'm hoping this whole variant shakeup and you're allowed to fix it. Atlantis, Imperious Rex, sir, get it right.
Okay.
That wasn't my problem with the film. I'm a little lost for words. It's not my problem with the film, but I know we spared off into a great conversation. But one other highlight I want to talk about What If season 3. I like the Riri Williams storyline with her and was that Mysterio?
Yeah,
Mysterio.
I loved that.
That was good. That was thinking outside the box. That was creative. I thought that was so creative what they did right there. And I think that was one of my favorite episodes there. It was that one, and it was the Winter Soldier one. I didn't really care for the whole great anime one, the first one with Sam Wilson. I didn't really care for that one that much.
The Power Ranger one, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. It was.
It wasn't really for me, but I'm an
anime fan. I loved it. Loved it.
Right.
Yeah, but like
I loved it.
I don't know. It didn't do it for me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just didn't.
It was basically Marvel saying, you know what, we could do Power Rangers better.
Man.
Boom.
But it
was dope.
What really frustrated me was they had all the tools because it was talked about, but they didn't do it. It was going to be a Star Wars crossover for season 3. I thought that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
I thought that would have been cool because you could have played around it. You could have done a lot of stuff. I thought that would have been nice, man.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do anything like that.
I'll be honest with you.
Oh man.
I'm sure it'd be a delicious Reese's Pieces, but I want my chocolate and peanut butter separated. I don't want them to cross over. I don't want them to touch tips. I don't want any of that.
So this was a close, and the reason why I like this so much is because it brought me back to the 70s when the Shogun Warriors were a part of Marvel, and Godzilla was a part of Marvel, and they had that crossover.
Yeah.
And this is that's why I loved it so much, because that's really what it felt like. It felt like that they were paying homage to that. Right. And I'm like, if that's why you did it, that's dope. Because the Hulk was a kaiju at the end, and he was breathing fire like Godzilla. It was amazing. And I saw the whole. It wasn't. To me, it wasn't Power Ranger. It was Shogun Warrior to me. And that's really what it felt like, the way they did that. And yeah, they did do the whole let's form Voltron, and they did. I got that. That was cool. Right. But. I wish they didn't have to do that, but I got it, and it made sense. And again, you're now paying homage to some anime stuff. That's cool. But I think that Riri Williams episode
was brilliant.
Well, not only was it brilliant, but you saw the also what if Mysterio had won thing.
Right.
You saw that played out, and he's a legitimate threat. And if he had the resources, if he had a little bit more, if he had somebody that was on his side that was maybe a little as smart as like Tony Stark or somebody close to it, I could see that whole thing playing out. And the most vulnerable time it could have happened is right after Stark died in Endgame. That would have been a brilliant transition right then and there, because at the time they didn't have a Norman Osborn around. They didn't have so they didn't have all these other characters that could have possibly stepped in. Mysterio was the one. That was perfect. I thought that was brilliant. And then have Riri Williams step up and do her thing. Oh my goodness. I love that so much.
It wasn't crazy.
It was cool. They played the white Vision thing too. That was dope.
I like that. They played Vision with Mr. which made sense.
Yes.
That made a lot of sense. I love that episode. That should have been the first episode, in my opinion. That they should have started off with a banger. That should have been the first one.
I agree.
That should be the first one. But dang, man, so much opportunity. And I would have loved seeing Iron Man go against Darth Vader. Are you killing me? Are you kidding me? I would have loved to see that.
Iron Man versus Darth Vader.
See that, man.
Snapped his neck, bro. Snapped his neck in 3 seconds.
That would have been a 2-second fight.
We could have saw that. We could have
been a
we
2-second fight.
Vader
He would have did one
Avengers.
of these deals and crushed him right in the armor.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel could have came in.
She would have got her the brakes beaten off her. No, thank
we
you.
could have saw that. We could have saw Sentry in there.
That would have been a problem. That would have been a problem.
You know, like we.
I honestly think Vader could have handled him. I think people don't understand the level of
like that dude was vicious, bro. Like it was real.
One thing I love about Disney is they have not messed up Vader. They have done a phenomenal job paying homage to Vader and everything. They got with Vader.
They got close.
When did they get close to ruin Darth Vader? Really I thought they did an exceptional job through and through. I haven't named one bad time they did Vader dirty. But you go ahead.
I will tell you when.
Please tell me, sir. Please tell me, sir. I would love to know.
Anakin Skywalker whining every movie. Knock it off, sir. You are going to become the Dark Lord. Stop whining. They were real close. They were super close. If I didn't feel his pain when he got in Morag, when he got almost killed by Obi-Wan, he had the high ground. And then the pain he felt when he heard that his wife died and all that or whatever, he know about the babies, all that, whatever, that pain that he was in, if he didn't do that right, because that whining from the second episode, the second movie on, thank you, sir, no thank you. You are not this legendary Jedi that was down part of the Clone Wars and everything. You were a whiny sucker. That's who you were. That's who you were.
Look,
what about my power? I'm good. Sir, knock it off. You're lucky you did an honorable thing in the Ahsoka series, and I respect you again, sir. Yeah. You're lucky. You're lucky, sir. You almost blew it for the entire galaxy.
But what was amazing in what was the cartoon? Why can't I remember it now? Rebels.
Rebels.
Yeah. Really done well in Rebels.
Yes, sir. You dodged it. And then you're showing in Rogue One. I was like, this is Lord Vader. You're back, sir. Now I understand the power of the dark side.
Rogue One was awesome. I loved Rogue One. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies is Rogue One.
I agree.
From the Disney era, Rogue One is fire.
Yes. Absolutely.
I love the Han Solo movie too.
I did too.
A lot of people were bashing that. I did not mind the Han Solo movie.
I'm going to bash it, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything.
No, because
for what it was, I liked it. For what it was, I liked it.
Hold on.
For what it was.
He's gonna bring up the facts that he brings up every time, and then he's right. The original source material was much better, and you shouldn't mess with the original source material and pay your writers.
Right.
I know this argument. I know this argument. I respect this argument. That being said, I have never wanted to rock a cape more in my life. They're watching Solo. You know what I'm saying? Like I have the bobblehead.
You got the bobblehead.
Childish Gambino version of Lando Calrissian because
that's a nice pop. It's
I agree
with you. I like that's my favorite pop. I like yours.
Yeah, thank
absolutely.
You. Absolutely.
If you're gonna look, I will say this about that movie. I enjoyed the story for what it was. I just wish, again, just because I know the original source material, that's the only thing that threw me off. However, the way things were played, it was played pretty interesting, and it was acceptable. It wasn't the three movies with Finn and Rey and all. It wasn't those. As long as it wasn't that terrible, as long as it wasn't that terrible, I was feeling what they were trying to do with it. Also making Han Solo a little vulnerable when he had that, because with the thing with the woman he was with, that whole scenario, that was interesting because you saw a different side of Han Solo.
Oh yeah, you got to see what makes him a grumpy, a grumpy pirate.
I appreciated that. So. Yeah. That was cool. and then his earlier dealings with the Smugglers Guild.
No, it was good. That was really good.
I dug that.
That was really good.
That was well done. That was well done. You got to see some of the other huts. I loved that. So yeah, so like I don't know. I just, again, only because I really, really wanted to see Talon Card.
Right.
I wanted to see Mara Jade. I wanted to see the other people really, really involved in the whole, legend of Han Solo, the legend, of the Kessel Run. You know what I mean? I really wanted to see that stuff play out. And because I didn't get it, I was being salty. But if I can be honest, I did like the movie. I did.
Thank you. It was a good movie.
I did.
I even liked Darth Maul at the end. Darth Maul at the end was a good surprise. I like that.
That was pretty cool. That was respectable.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah. No, it's one of those. I wouldn't give it an award, but I'll watch it.
Rogue One deserves an award, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Rogue One.
I do agree. I do agree on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Go ahead, Easy.
But also, what I love the most about Rogue One, just from a marketing point of view, Disney took a writing flaw of the original movies, a plot hole, and made a multi-billion-dollar movie about it. Genius.
That's not taking a chance.
They took a chance. It was genius.
You knew all. You're bringing forth these characters that you can't become attached to because you know what the future is going to hold. You know you've never seen any of these characters before, so you know everyone's going to die. You know what I'm saying? You know this is the most tragic of operas you're going to hear. Vasek is less tragic than the opera of Rogue One.
Oh my God, it was brilliant how they did that.
Andor. Shout out to Andor. New season's coming out this year.
Andor was dope.
New season's coming out this year with Andor. I'm excited.
So because that was such a masterstroke, right? And the characters that were involved, I wonder why, because this would have worked for me. And it's still not over. They still have the opportunity to do this. But I wonder why a lot of those characters aren't mentioned now.
Right.
Their sacrifices and stuff like that. We know because we saw Andor. We know because we saw Rogue One, right? But these characters should be a little more legendary to me in the lore. Like,
at least in the folklore aspect.
Right. So I don't know. I kind of wish like the character that Donnie Yen played.
Amazing.
So good.
Nobody else could have played that part. You know that, right?
No, not at all.
Nobody else would have pulled that off the way he did.
Yeah.
I would love to see him. I know this is silly. But as a Force ghost at some point, I would love to have seen him. Man, he was heavy in the Force.
He was
popping up.
He was. He was the Force. He was the Force.
I wish. Right. Yeah. I wish because they do flashbacks of Ahsoka when that whole time after the Clone Wars and she disappeared and stuff and she lost her two like lightsabers because she had the original set that she had, the green one, and then he got rid of those, and then Anakin gave her a set, the blue set.
Yeah, that's right.
Then he pops up with the white set. How? When? They're gonna play that out in the Ahsoka the next season. But I would love if he trained her lightly a little something because that Ahsoka that we saw was not the Ahsoka from Rebels. This is now a full-blown Jedi. This is a full-blown Jedi. She didn't train herself. She didn't find Yoda because Yoda was gone, right? Who trained her? Who got her there? I'd love this. Oh man, it will be so dope. I know they're not going to do it, but
they don't have the stones. They don't.
That's exactly it. But just imagine, because I want to know who trained her, because she is a force to be reckoned with right now. Holy moly!
And as much as it wasn't super successful, it had a decent story, The Acolyte. And I didn't really hate The Acolyte. I
didn't either.
But I think that opens up the whole aspect of who trained her. Who is that other person? I think going along that avenue would have been good as well. Understanding that, obviously they're going to get into the gray aspects of things and all of that. And it's going to get very, very interesting. And I love that they're bringing up the witches, and I love that they're finally, giving this whole like supernatural side to it that was just there before in the spirit of the Force, but now understanding that the Force is so much more, and it seems like it's so much more of a cultural aspect. I really, really love it, and I can't wait to see what the next evolution is going to be.
Oh, same.
I would love to see it too.
Same.
I think after Vader died, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think after Vader died, he was the last vestige of anything that felt slightly supernatural. Right? Because of his abilities. Like, his abilities were way beyond, and it wasn't, and truthfully, as much as I want to give it credit to Qui-Gon Jinn, and right, I can't his abilities were far beyond that,
right,
to the supernatural, that it was like, remember that dude he force choked with his finger like this. He's like, yeah, the dude was talking junk, right? About it being some legend or some type of fake magic type of thing, and he was like, I'm sorry, what are you saying? What are you saying? Say it again. Oh, you can't, can you? You can't. I'm not even near you. Look at what's happening. Right? If Grand Moff Tarkin wasn't there, he would have killed him right then and there, and then said, does anybody else need this? Anybody else? Okay, that's that type of supernatural power that Vader held. No other Sith Lord showed that, aside from Palpatine.
Yes.
Aside from Palpatine.
Yeah. I was going to throw in there that Lord Helmet, but I because that with the ring and the zapping in the testicles was probably the most painful I've seen.
Let's talk about some painful experiences. We only have a couple minutes left of this broadcast. I'm going to go down through some what if ideas that were discarded, so we can get a yay, nay, or better off. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy episode discarded because its plot conceded too much with Volume 3, possibly related to the Sovereigns, Adam Warlock, and a collaboration between the Guardians and an alternate version of Gamora.
Right.
We saw that already. No, thank you.
Yeah. That's the thing. No, thank you. I'm pretty played out because they refused to really pull the trigger with Adam Warlock.
I know they ruined him.
So
Agreed.
I'm like, I don't care. So yeah, I'm glad that wasn't made. I mean, still better than Howard the Duck, but but yeah,
yeah.
Spider-Man becoming an actual real spider like the comics. They're removed for being too dark. The Man Spider.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah,
I would love to have seen it. However,
but I also love the darker side of it. That's that whole thing is I want to see that darker side of it.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, it's too dark and blah, blah, blah. There are children that are watching. Homie, What If is not made for children. It's made for geeks like me. Mm-hmm. All right? I'm not a child. I am a grown man. I'm going to watch these things and I'm going to enjoy myself.
Quite frankly, I was waiting for him to pop up in the Spider-Verse movies. I was waiting for that.
Still can.
We didn't get it. I'm hoping so, because that's the direction you go in right there.
Right.
That is the direction you go in. So
the Avengers as dinosaurs, dismissed for being too absurd.
Now, if they had well, that's not a what if story. That actually happened in their past.
It did.
The 10,000 BC Avengers.
Right.
That I would like to have seen that happen, but that's not really a what if. That actually happened. It was Odin with Mjolnir. It was the Phoenix Force. Right. It was the Iron Fist, and it was the Star Brand, and it was Agamotto, the actual Agamotto, not his eye, but the actual Agamotto as the Sorcerer Supreme, and it was the Ghost Rider. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. I would love to have seen a play on that if they had did kind of a what if thing, like what if the Phoenix Force took them all out or something like that, or what if they had the First Eternal or something. I would love to have seen that. That would have been fire. But nah, I don't think the Dinosaur Avengers would have been garbage.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have watched
what kind of drugs were you taking and why are you sharing?
I know that.
You know what I'm saying? That's
that would have been trash.
Loki being worthy of Mjolnir canceled because the series was already showing him being in a redemption arc.
Yeah, same. Yeah, He's had Mjolnir a couple of times.
Jane Foster becoming Thor, deleted because of Love and Thunder.
Yeah, well, because
she was already Thor.
Why
It
would
was
you?
already
Why would
during
you
the
see?
comic books.
You don't have to. What if it happened
It's
in your
not
own
a what if.
timeline?
Right? Yeah.
Oh.
No.
A reinterpretation of the Odyssey starring Tony Stark and Pepper Potts stranded in space.
No.
Trash, because he
No.
went to space.
No.
And he was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy at one point. We don't need to see that again. I didn't need to see it at that time. Yeah, Gamora folded him up like a pretzel and did nasty things to him. No, thank you.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Next was a Star Wars crossover. We already spoke our feelings on that. Number 8 is the Avengers in the events of Iron Man 3. Christmas episode inspired by Love Actually. Denied.
Good. I hate Christmas episodes. They're stupid. No. Boo. You know, it's plain and simple. If you want to watch a Christmas episode, watch the Christmas Star Wars and forever just be miserable.
And be hurt if you ever see. Oh my goodness. Folks, I'm gonna, as much as I love Star Wars, folks, that is the one thing I will ask you to never watch. Do yourself a favor. Never do that to yourself, please. You'll never forget.
It's like, you know, some of those viral videos that we used to watch when we were younger that we're not going to talk about on air. You definitely don't want to see it because it's going to cause you pain.
There is more, but this is the last one because we got to close out until the next episode. This is one I really like. An episode of Spider-Man inspired by the movie Children of Men with a dark tone. I thought that sounds pretty cool to me. Just what would they do with it? What characters they would use?
But if I'd much rather see
Children of
that
Men
done
is a
with
fire movie.
Spider.
I mean, you can see that, but I'm just saying
yeah.
Spider-Man in a Children of Men theme world, you know, where it's like an apocalyptic world. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do it with Spider-Man. You can do it with another character too.
Yeah, I think doing it with another character, I'd be a lot more interested in it.
Children of Men is a fire movie to me.
For some reason, like taking Spider-Man out of the context of New York City and regular New York City, because New York City is a character in Spider-Man everything.
I agree.
In Spider-Man multiverse, in everything. New York City.
What about apocalyptic New York City?
I don't know if I see Spider-Man in the apocalypse.
Well, no, we
like
saw that
Legend type thing.
No, we saw that. We saw that, and remember that terrible cartoon that came out years ago in the 80s, the Spider-Man,
the 2099, that one.
No, because that was the comic book, and that dude was dope. We saw him in the Spider-Verse. He was dope. No, they had like
I know which one you're talking about. He had like a little.
He had that,
it was like a little 90s
suit.
theme. It was
he had that ugly suit and had that raggedy like web thing under his arms, and he was in. Yeah, it was terrible.
The Ben Reilly Spider-Man, right? That one.
I know
what you're talking about. It's in my cartoons in my head.
It was terrible. That was possibly the worst.
They have it on Disney
cartoon.
Plus, which is funny.
I know they shouldn't.
Of course they do.
They shouldn't. But yeah, it was awful, and I would see that. It would feel like that, and I'd be like, I wouldn't watch it on the strength that it might look like that or feel like that. No, thank you.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm so done with Christmas episodes. We don't need a Christmas episode. We don't need the unless. I loved that Hawkeye was technically like a Christmas episode because it actually took place during the time of Christmas.
Man,
it was dope. It was dope.
I would let you going on, but we got to wrap it up. 3 Nerds Venting Volume 13. Thank you, everybody. Myself, Preston, Easy, and the superhero. To those who care, supervillain, the many. His name is the OG Blur. That's the professor. Thanks so much, everybody. We appreciate y'all. Volume 13 has come to a close for 3 Nerds Venting on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.